Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Neki broadcast. Today, I'm very pleased to bring you Cremember versus Danniel BR. These guys are absolute monsters when it comes to playing, extremely cynical, picking the most aggressive moves, optimizing everything up to the finest level of details. So, hopefully, this will be an absolutely fantastic game. I do know here that Cremember is Orc. I do not know what Danniel BR is. So let me do this full map, because why not? It's going to be Orc versus Dwarf, and I am particularly excited since this is on not sure what ladder era version. So I do know it's obviously 0.1.17. But I'm not sure how. I mean, there were some changes. I'm not sure how the not the Thunder Guard, but the level one dwarvish archer. I can't remember for the life of me how they are called. We shall find out pretty soon here, and let's see. Play side turn. It's been so long since I've casted, way too long since I've casted a game of Wesnoth. So we see here 3 grunts, 2 wolves. So this one probably get this village, this one will go to this village, and probably the leader is going to converge towards this side. And as usual, these 4 are going to converge towards this side. So probably an attack, solid attack on the right hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4 units, plus reinforcements here, which could develop into an attack or into some pressure on this village. And this is particularly nice for Orc, simply because it has a lot of bulky units to send on the right hand side, and considering it's night, so the first attack occurs during night, sending 4 units towards this side should be pretty safe against most kinds of aggressions. Undead raises a few question marks, but yeah, really not much to worry about as Orc on this map in that particular position. Let's see how. Really interesting, extremely interesting here from Danniel BR. I'll be too fast to I can't believe, I mean, we get to cast a game with trash talk. So if I do Control X, okay, it clears that trash talk right away, but this is only so I can see the trash talk on the left hand side and the trash talk only. So only Danniel BR could go with such an aggressive build. So you see here 2 thieves, 2 footpads, and a guardsman for good measure, and of course a flying griffin to just grab the villages here. So he is going to do something a bit different here. He's going to send his units towards the left hand side, and then he's going to send his leader here. So he's going to mirror the actions from Orc. My problem is on this particular village, I mean, if he manages to put the guardsman here, then that's fine, but if he doesn't manage to get with the guardsman in time, he will have problems defending with just a lone guardsman and a griffin. But we shall see, because you know most of the meaty units from Orc go on the right hand side anyway. So really interesting here. These will do absolutely nothing against Orc. Grunts are the perfect counters to all this here. So he needed archers, so he needed outlaws, or is it Thunderstick? I'm not really sure what's the name of that level 1 archer, which is absolutely laughable, simply because at one point I really got mad. It was a heated discussion about balance changes to dwarves, and discussion was particularly about the I'm gonna hit D here, and I'm going to see here, is it's advances Thunder Guard Dwarvish Thunderer. Of course, Dwarvish Thunderer. So, yeah, so the discussion is about the Thunderer. So I must have blocked this, let's say, this name, this image, this unit out of my memory. I was really upset because we were talking about ladder era balance modifications, and I came up with the idea that dwarves should be dexterous, similar to how elvish archers are dexterous and they deal ridiculous amounts of damage. Dexterous change on the Thunder Guard, so 18 becomes 19, then that's not a big of a deal. So for those of you out there, do post in the comments regarding this potential change. So making Thunder Guards, making Thunderers dexterous. It can be added on top of the existing traits, which can be seen as also nerfing the unit a bit, or it could be replaced with dexterous, which would basically make the unit more of an archer rather than a retaliation unit that does decent retaliation via melee and retaliation via ranged. So it can be applied in different flavors, right, to basically alleviate some of your concerns. However, this means that it can actually deal real damage as an archer. If I have two Thunderers, which they will be quite difficult to recruit, right? Because look at the probability. I will need to recruit mass Thunderers to get some dexterous Thunderers. Then with two Thunderers, I would be able to at least kill several units in 2 shots, which is always the case with elvish archers, right? I mean, look at the cost. Anyway, but doesn't really matter. That's beside the point. However, I was a bit mad about this, so I guess I blocked the memory regarding Thunderers. So okay, Cremember is 2, so I'm giving the win to Danniel BR. I've decided, based on the trash talk, Danniel BR is the winner here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's move on with the game. Enough trash talk, enough background knowledge, enough complaining about balance changes. Let's move on with this game, because I have a good feeling about this. It must be an extraordinary game. I'm hoping I'm not raising the bar too high, and the game finishes in like 3 turns. Let's see here. Now he knows he's going to get dwarf. He must feel really happy. Remember, at this moment in time, 3 grunts. Look here, just basic meaty units from him to overpower the dwarf as early on as possible, because the only way a dwarf could cover these villages is with outlaws, and outlaws, as we know, are not very good versus grunts unless you are poachers, but poachers are not that fast. So it remains to be seen here how it's because if I were to choose who do I want to be at this moment in time, I would say I want to be the orc, especially with these recruits. So these seem like a lot of units. They're very mobile, could go either way, but they are paper units when it comes to these grunts. So immediately transitioning into a more classic style, and you should see dwarf after dwarf after dwarf coming from Danniel BR, desperately gasping for air, desperately trying to get a better unit composition. So let's see here how well the first attack is incredibly important as orc. There comes the poisoner, there comes the assassin, and you see that is an insane amount of grunts, and he realizes what he's going against, and finally he decides not to split his units in 2. He's not going to do a 2 prone attack. He's just going to amass all his units on this side, because he sees the griffin, he sees the leader on this side, and he knows that there is absolutely no way dwarf could reinforce the left hand side unless he recruits footpads and thieves, but those are absolutely useless versus grunts, or let's say next to useless. Maybe they are a bit maybe they can do something, but not a lot. Okay, so he knows what he's doing. Cremember is being really like a professional. He hits where it hurts, knows that this flank hurts. He amasses all his army here. He will be able to reinforce, absolutely no problem. So our dwarf player is in a world of hurt. Let's see how he will deal with this, trying to desperately bring his leader towards the left hand side. You probably don't see the desperation in the moves, but I can feel it, that it is there. I can see the sweat on this dwarvish thunder guard. So he is having to put his footpad, which is strong resilient, so nice traits there. He's having to put his footpad on 60%, simply to try and direct some of this rage onto let's say onto 20%, onto 20%, onto 40%. So he's saying, he's basically making a statement: I'm on 60%, you're going to be on 20% if you attack me. So I'm basically going to take a gamble. 60% versus 20%. I feel pretty good about my chances, and statistically 60% versus 20%, that would be a great exchange. However, this footpad will probably die from 3 hits. So he's basically saying, if you are going to attack with 3 grunts, yeah, then you're going to need to hit 3 out of 6, which is, let's talk, we are not talking, we are talking probabilistic terms, right? So take it with a pinch of salt, which is unlikely, right? So this strong wolf rider would have to come into play to improve the chances a bit. However, even if this happens, then we are going to see a lot of retaliation versus 20%. So basically he's saying, I'm keeping you away from my good terrain here. I'm also dealing a lot of retaliation damage, and I'm placing your units in a tough spot on 20%, and this Griffin Rider could perhaps come in and finish off a unit. Then I can keep my footpads on 70% in villages and basically keep you away from the main villages, and basically making you fight here for nothing, at least until my leader arrives, right? So I do like the way Danniel BR is making the best out of a difficult situation. So the question is now, this one is resilient intelligent, it dies from 2 hits, but it's on 70%. The question is now, will Orc go for it? So I'm going to go move by move. He's going to go for it. Of course he's going to go for it. So again, he only needs, if my calculations are correct, he needs 3 out of 6, or I believe 3 out of 7 or 4 out of 7, something of this sort. Anyway, it really depends on the hits. He's well happy with that. There's a big grin on Danniel BR's face right now, so that changes everything. This has become a marvelous defense suddenly. So now you have 2 options. If you are Orc, you either keep being tunnel visioned on this footpad, you go all the way through with your plan. You're saying, okay, 2 out of 6 missed, doesn't matter. The next hits will come from the 4 remaining attacks. Or you might change your plan entirely, and you might say, just gonna grab this terrain, I'm going to push my units deep into enemy territory, make sure I can surround this guardsman. Not really sure. So you could either push the units, but pushing units during the first watch, not that great. I would personally just use these footpads as punching bags, so I'll keep just using absolutely everything I have on these 2 footpads. See what happens. Maybe I kill a footpad, maybe I don't. I have to pull back anyway if the big leader comes. So day is coming, big leader is coming. I have to pull back anyway. Try my luck, right? So he's going to try his luck, and he just needs now 2 hits with a wolf, if my computations are correct. I'm not sure. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. Apparently I'm wrong. There you go. Remember, it's 50% chance, so 70%, but he gets 2 hits, so 50% chance to hit. It's not too bad. So is he going to go for it? There it is, 10. So a strong wolf deals 10. So if you see here, he only needs 2 hits. versus 60%. However, he might lose the wolf, so we shall see. Does he go for it? Does he go for it? Does he go for it? He doesn't. So you see what he did here? He basically is keeping a line. So he's basically saying, I want to show you that I am serious about attacking you, but at the same time I do want to keep a line. What if he went here with a wolf rider, and let's say he only got 1 out of 3? Then the wolf rider would have definitely died. That's 17 gold down the drain. That's vision down the drain. Even this thief could go here. This dwarvish fighter could go here. I mean, his units could be zone of controlled. He would completely lose access to this, I mean, control of these villages. So this wolf is actually pivotal in him keeping control of the villages on the right. So that's why he's not throwing away his wolf. If this footpad would have had only 10 life left, maybe kill the footpad and then cover the wolf and then take it from there. And if this thief goes starts doing shenanigans, then use the wolf to catch him this way, right from behind. So yeah, I really like this half aggressive, half cautious approach from the orc player. So he did use 4 units, right? He did use 4 units. He did get the good terrain. The pressure is still on, and remember, there will be a turn when purple won't be able to recruit. So let's see here what will happen next. I believe I'm gonna play the whole turn. So more assassins are coming. So if this turns into a long drawn out fight, poison is going to kick in. So that's going to be a massive problem because he does not have healthy dwarves. These guys melt to poison. He already, I mean, his kind of tanks, let's call them, because they are not tanks. This is the only true tank. So his kind of semi-tanks are all in the yellow, right? So he needs to retreat them. So what does he leave behind? What is the line of resistance if these tanks retreat? Where do they retreat? Because only one of them can heal. He can't heal both, and if he retreats one of them to heal the other, I mean, other units need to protect them. So it's really difficult. He's in a really difficult situation. He might have to simply pull back, get this 70% with the thief, which is never ideal, and hope for the best, right? So thief on 70%, this one on 50%, guardsman here praying, and the rest of the units back. Maybe this one crawling towards that. So if the fight is drawn on for too long, he will have 2 fighters coming, then the leader would be able to shoot some units and recruit. So it doesn't look too bad, but the next turn is absolutely horrendous. So let's see what, of course, he chooses to reinforce. Fighters slowly crawling in. Interesting approach here. So basically saying, if I take this footpad way back, he's not going to do anything. At least now he's baiting. But I do expect him to just go one tile. No, he didn't. Okay, this is really interesting here. So this footpad dies in 1 hit. So he's basically using this footpad as a bait. So he's basically saying, sure, go for it. So if you go for this footpad, you're going to waste 1 slot on the thief, and then I will basically have the thief to backstab you. You'll be in a terrible position, right? I don't think it was necessary. I think he could have gone 1 tile simply because access, and I'm not really sure about this unless he wants to bait. I think the level of attacking potential that this footpad provides from this tile is more or less the same as the level it provides from this other tile. So doesn't make too much sense to me, but maybe you can tell me why they put this. Unless it's a bait, I could understand it as a bait. It's like, I am a player, I'm going to play the game. You want kills, come for it, but then I'm going to retaliate massively. So it's basically some mind games. Otherwise, it's not doing anything here. Anyway, he went for the other footpad, which has 2 slots. So this footpad needs to dodge once. It's really important that it dodges. No, never mind. It needs to dodge. It needs to dodge many times. So let's see here. Is he going to get the kill? It's really important that he gets the kill. Sometimes it's frustrating when you just keep missing versus 60% versus these paper soldiers, but not today. Now it's really important that he gets the keep. Extremely important that he gets the keep. I don't care what this unit could do. It could kill maybe, if it was a thief here on 20% somewhere, and if this guy could kill it, I would say 99% he should go and grab the keep. So I mean, he could go also here. I guess it's equivalent to grabbing the keep, but not quite. It's blocking the keep, but not actually grabbing it. It's both have merits. So this one, both of them are blocking the leader from getting to the keep, so that's okay. This one is basically far back. It's closer to his friends here, so it's more difficult to attack. But again, attacking here would, I mean, this thief could go on 60%, so it's next to 2 castle tiles, whereas here it's only close to 1 castle tile. It's with the back to a deep water, so it's more difficult for backstab. So again, both have merits. We could argue all day here, but definitely block the keep, capture the keep. It's really important. He goes for the 70% just to see what is going to happen here, and yeah, that's okay. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, he got 1 hit, and now he has more options, right? Because now he has more slots here, right? So before, if he would have just gotten the kill here, then it would have been really difficult to finish the thief on the village. Now he can really plan his move to eliminate the village. And coming back to what I said before, this is why this footpad was also put here. It's not only as a bait, as a challenge, but if this thief were to die, then at least this footpad blocks this this tile. So whoever wants to go to this village should have to go around, but still it's not a significant block. It's not a significant block, to be honest. So, you know, this grunt could go this. Anyway, don't really understand this footpad. Still don't understand it. So now it's really important. Will he poison the thief? Because remember, assassins have marksmanship. This next move, he's going for it, but the problem is if he goes for it with the grunt, he might miss 2 out of 2, and then he will have no resources to eliminate this thief. But then again, the grunt is kind of a tank, closing the access to the weaker units, so I could understand that as well. So is he going for it? Of course, yeah, misses. And now suddenly this one is safe. This one is safe, I would say. I don't think he would commit units further. I mean, again, this is a pretty important unit. He could try, but he needs 2 hits versus 70%. I wouldn't commit it personally. Of course, going for the Griffin Rider. However, the beauty of the Griffin is he can heal, but if he heals, then he doesn't fight. So really important target to poison, and he needs to push this forward, block the keep. Let's see. Okay, he's going for it. 50%, guess it's acceptable, but now he has a target for backstab, and there is a potential for this thief to level up. So yeah, I guess there are too many targets, so it doesn't matter if there's an extra target on 50%. So blocking the keep there, blocking access to the backstab, but now this these are not quick. So even if he has 2 fighters on this flank and he could go and pillage, this will take ages. So very nice move here from Cremember, leaving the slow dwarves you know, let them be. If they want to pillage, fine, but they are not meant for pillaging, they are meant for attacking. And you see here, this dwarvish fighter has a target in the wolf rider. Before 1 2 3 4 it couldn't reach any important target. Now it has something to do, it attacks the wolf rider. That's why I was saying I was 50-50 about this wolf rider going here, considering the level of HP on the thief. So now this one also has a target, and now the thief can get really good levels if he manages to kill the wolf rider. Okay, 2 out of 2 versus 30%. That was a good exchange. Sure, there's a lot of damage, a lot of return damage on the grunt, but I would take that any day. He really needs to keep these dwarves low, and going back and reinforcing with grunts. What else? And this is really a crucial turn here. Let's see. So 1 kill. He really needs to calculate his moves very carefully. Luckily on this map he has the option on going to this keep way in the back, so he can still recruit, he can still fight back for some of the villages. However, this area here now becomes a problem. If he goes this far back, he could go here in the middle. As long as he stays on these villages, he could still reinforce this area in a decent manner, but then the leader is back. Leader cannot contribute to the fight. He could also just bring the leader for fighting, but then he kind of goes on a slippery slope where there is a point of no return, where you do need to reinforce. So his options are very limited. He only has a very narrow path towards, and I'm not saying victory, towards staying in the game. So how will he walk that path? Let's see. Great. Okay, so as I was telling you, now this dwarvish fighter has something to do. 3 out of 3. He needed that. He absolutely needed that. That's one way in which he can claw back into this game. Now the thief can get the kill, and this can go on 60%, get the kill, so that will be 2 kills, and suddenly it looks a bit more acceptable. Not great, but acceptable. So he chooses to go towards this end. Offseeker, absolutely a must here, because day is coming and he's in a hurry to get villages back. He will lose some villages. There's no way he can keep all these villages. So let's see here. And our Thunderer, which is going to be quick, at least that's a good sign. Our Thunderer can attempt to shoot this 60% grunt and hope for the best. There is the thief. There's the problem here. Level 2 thief, skirmisher, and dealing a lot of damage. He chooses to go with the dwarvish fighter on the village, which is interesting to say the least. Not sure I agree with this, but who am I to judge? I would have put this dwarvish fighter on 60%, but let's see. There it is. Probably he thinks I can't really put the footpad on the village because he is going to die versus these assassins anyway, but he had the Griffin Rider who needed to go on a village either way, so I'm guessing he wants to preserve the Griffin Rider. But again, losing a fighter is yeah, well, I guess losing a Griffin Rider is always most painful given the cost. So interesting choice there. Now I did not expect that. No, if he wanted to do that, then I understand why he went for the village. So he's basically saying, I want to deal as much damage as possible. I'm going to lose this unit anyway. I have a lot of targets. Might as well give him all the targets he needs. I'm just going to mind my own business. I'm going to make sure every single unit does its damage, and then I will end up with lots of targets, sure, but I can't protect them all anyway. I can't have good positioning. So if I can't have good positioning, stop worrying about the positioning that much. Just deal your damage, hope for the best. He can't kill all the targets. He would have to choose. He would have to prioritize. So 50% dwarvish fighter with high resistance versus 60% footpad on the brink of death. this will probably protect the fighter in the sense that it's a juicier target, probabilistically speaking. So let's see here. He deals damage. He needed 2 out of 2 there, so he can finish off with the Griffin Rider. That changes everything. He can't finish with the Griffin Rider now. He's gonna go for it anyway, ladies and gentlemen. This is Danniel BR style. He's all in at this moment. Will he get 2 out of 2? Will he get 2? Oh no, he's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it. Okay, he's going for the backstab here. He's going all in. He has to do it. He has to do. He has to. I mean, he has to try. I'm not sure. Maybe he changed his mind at the last second. Okay, so had he gotten 2 out of 2 here, he would have tried for the kill and then use the Griffin Rider to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Anyway, he would have been in the area, right? Basically no real impediment to him pillaging villages on the right hand side. But now what he tries to achieve here, he tries to block the Grunt from getting the village, right? He's not gonna go all in. He thinks he's in a good position, and I agree with him. If he can kill this Wolf Rider, he's in a fantastic position, because Danniel BR doesn't have villages. Sure, he has aggressive positioning, but that doesn't mean anything. He's gonna get lots of kills, but then the kill numbers are going to be even. So, and then these assassins are left, which on 60% they melt versus Dwarves. So really liking the approach here from Danniel BR. He's gonna get 2 out of 2 there, and these thieves can be really dangerous as long as they can get to level 2. So already 3 units killed, and it's second watch, and suddenly this positioning doesn't look that scary. Well, he has to trade, so this is how you play Orc. At the end of the day, he has to try for these kills, so he has to finish this thief, finish this footpad, finish this Dwarvish fighter, and suddenly the trade becomes very cost efficient, right? So this is how you play Orc at the end of the day. This is the style. So we were expecting it would boil down to something like this, but Dwarf looks much better than he was looking 1 or 2 turns ago. So with these units caught here, Orcish Grunt goes on the village. He will then slowly die to shots and Dwarvish Orfsecker, but goes on the village, attacks the thief. This guy here tries to finish off the thief. Then this guy here, or this guy, some of these guys take the village. These 2 units need to die. He needs to prioritize. He needs to compute. So I would say 1 village taken, 2 villages taken, and at least, so he needs 2 villages and 2 units killed. He will lose the units on the villages because, you know, that's what Orc does. But he has to take at least 2 villages and kill 2 units. He can get 1 village and kill 3 units or something, you know, the sum should be constant, but he should get 2 villages and kill 2 units. Rule of thumb here, let's see. Yeah, he's going for that kill, so 1 unit killed. Then he should, but the problem is if he does go for this Dwarvish fighter, which he should absolutely go for, then this thief will level up. This Griffin Rider, not too worried yet about it, but it might become a nuisance. Yeah, I would say this assassin needs to go back, but it's not a quick assassin, unfortunately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, if the assassin goes back, it should be fine, but he should be careful. Does he take the village with the assassin, or does he go back, or does he pose in the guard? This is a death trap here, so he has to be careful. Get the village and move the rest of the units back. Difficult choices to balance, right? He's gonna lose this grunt anyway. Might as well exchange a bit. Let's see what he decides to do. Of course, get the village, go for the unit. This must be incredibly frustrating, and you're kind of forced in your style of play with Orc. It's just nothing you can do, and it's just heartbreaking when you miss those hits. But at the same time, I've been playing versus Orc a lot, so it's really satisfying when the Orc misses those hits. But at the end of the day, remember, he has a village, and dwarf will have a problem clearing this village. So if orc gets equally lucky as this thief, then orc has the village advantage, which is 100%, does not depend on probability, right? Gold advantage is 100% certain. So he's going to go for this. It's an important target, this 50% fighter, so he's going to go for it. Oh no, 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 no. That was 70%. You're not going to get that unless he needed one hit and he wanted to finish off with the orcish assassin to prevent him from leveling up. So I guess he said, I'm going to take a chance, prevent the level 2 or nothing, and he got nothing. I'm not sure that was the best decision. Now he has basically 2 units dead on this side, 3 units dead. He might as well just retreat with everything. Put this one in the village and just put this one back to deal with the Griffin Rider. I'm not sure, because these assassins, maybe, I think he's safe. So he could poison this, or he could go like this. He could go with Orcish Grunt here to try to make it difficult. So if he goes with Orcish Grunt here, it makes life really difficult for Dwarf. This is actually a better play. Goes here, then the Dwarvish Oathseeker, the leader, this, they have suddenly, they don't have that much freedom to move around, to position themselves. So go here for strategic positioning, and then grab this with the wounded, injured grunt, and then poison these two with these assassins, because the assassins will then be behind the line of grunts. Although yeah, this one here would be protected from the Oathseeker if this one goes here. So poison these 2 units and get, so then he would have killed 1 unit, gotten 2 villages, and poisoned 2 units, which poisoning 2 units is like killing 1 unit, I would say. So yeah, it's basically what I said. So it can still be even. Yeah, poison there. Well, go here. Go here. You must go there. Otherwise, yes. Oh, interesting. I would have personally poisoned this thief here simply because that would have resulted in a sure kill. Now he's gonna poison this thief here. He basically wants to prevent the level up, but then he might lose 3 units on this side. This one might survive. So he's going all in at this point. He's basically saying prevent the level 2 or nothing. And I'm afraid he will get nothing every time, because this is a 70% thief. Sure, he will be very low, but he will be on 70% attacking an assassin, and it's going to be interesting. So this is where the game is played. If Danniel BR can get this level 2 up and running, he's won the game. If the orc prevents this level 2, I'm not really sure. I mean, this thief can still get away, which is, I mean, he can hit this assassin. It's just, he should have this was a sure kill. Even if this one killed the unit, he wouldn't have leveled up, whereas this one has a chance to level up. I don't agree with this. This thief would have been a much better target. There it is. It's going to be a 1 hit point or 2 hit point thief, but he can still kill the assassin and level up, and that would be a high chance of leveling up. So all or nothing here for Cremember, and he's going to prevent the pillaging with his leader recruits, which is fine, because by the time the Griffin Rider is going to get to a village, he's going to have lots of units. I mean, not lots, but enough units in place to deal with that kind of pillaging. So now the clock starts ticking. Sure, he had some poor exchanges, right? So look at the kills, look at the losses, look at the gold for those kills and losses. However, he got 2 villages out of them, and it's always a problem for Dwarf to get the villages back. My only worry are these units here, which they don't look too good, to be honest. It's just 3 units into the meat grinder unnecessarily for the most part. Okay, so lots of kills there, and this thief now is free to go back and heal, fight another day. level up for sure another day, or he can go for the kill, spectacular kill on the assassin. And okay, lots of kills, yeah, and that's looking pretty bad for grunt player, orc player. This is again really important. This is the difference between dragging on and never getting this village and making a quick comeback. If he manages to hit with the leader, quick comeback. Otherwise it's going to be a disaster. Well, disaster on this flank because he's looking pretty good on the other flank. So this one again, disaster. So probably now Orc feels redeemed that this thief missed so much. So okay, that's not a problem. This thief could go here and just poke a bit on this assassin. He wants to do everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one more. No, he still wants to prioritize this side. That's fine. So he's not too worried about this assassin. This assassin can grab villages, not a problem. Okay, there is the backstab. There is the all-in. So Danniel BR is taking the all-in. So there was Danniel BR could have gone with this Griffin Rider here. And then this thief could have attacked from 70%. But probably the chances of that were a bit lower due to, I mean, you get here 3 hits with the thief, whereas with the Griffin Rider you get 2 hits. So probably the mathematics of it. But still, it's basically a 60% thief that can die in 1 hit. This will be absolutely mental. The game is played right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really curious. Will he get the kill? Will he get the kill? So, 2 hits. Absolutely ridiculous. So he got 2 hits with the... He didn't expect that. He just needed 1 hit. And then he needed the other thief to get 1 hit, obviously. So he got 2 hits with the thief. So he didn't get what he wanted. But if I'm completely honest with you, that is even better. Because now he has 2 thieves on the brink of leveling up. And he has an absolutely insane amount of units killed in terms of resources. And things are shaping up absolutely in a fantastic manner for him. Not sure about this dwarvish Oathseeker here. Again, trying to bait, trying to say, I'm playing the game, I'm a player, come hit me if you want from 50%. I just want to get rid of your units. Just exchange your unit from my Oathseeker. I don't care. But 60% grunt, it's much more difficult to take out than a 50% grunt, so I would stay here personally. Anyway, this assassin could also even go here and try to poison this Thunderer. But then he'll be exposed to this dwarvish Oathseeker. Anyway, the game was played here. I think Danniel BR won, to be honest. It still depends, because if he keeps missing here with the Thunder Guard and the Thunderer, it can still turn pretty ugly. He still has 2 villages, but and remember, these units here, 2 of them are poison. He needs to heal this one up. He needs a kill on this unit. This one is poison as well, so it's still even because of poison, but and because of these 2 villages. But that was, I say, pretty well played from Danniel BR. Pretty well played. Dealt with that situation pretty well. He has free reign on this flank to get some villages back as well. So now, of course, Orc is forced to go on this side. You see the power of the Griffin, the power of the 2 prone attack. Now Dwarf, which is highly uncharacteristic, is the one doing the 2 prone attack. And in terms of his grunts, he kind of needs to stay on the villages, if I'm completely honest with you. He can't really, it's in an awkward spot. He can't really retreat. He shouldn't retreat, if you ask me. He could exchange. I'm not sure what the CTK is, chance to kill, right? But if he could also go here on this mountain, 60%, 70%, or even 60%, 60%, 60%, and basically trap this leader. Trap it here. Prevent him from recruiting at all. Just stay there, right? And just basically have a strategic position here on 60%, another strategic position on 60%, another strategic position on 60%, another strategic position on 60%. Stay there and wait for the day to pass, and just watch the dwarf trying to break free out of here and failing to do so. That could be one way to play it. So I'm really surprised. I mean, if you're going to use the wolf as bait, might as well put it here. Use the Oathseeker here on this hill. You're using it as bait anyway. Might as well protect your leader. I'm not sure what happened here. So it just makes no sense. It's like I'm playing. I'm baiting. I'm showing that I am absolutely in control of this situation. Fine, at least go on 50%. You're going to feed the Oathseeker anyway. At least protect your leader a bit. So let's see here. What does our... I'm really curious what Orc decides to do here. It's an incredibly dynamic game. Really happy I picked this one. So there it goes. There it goes. The leader block. The leader block happening. He's going to absolutely poison the Thunderer. He's all in. He's all in on this point. There's no reason for him to try to poison this one. No reason at all. He's going to poison it and he's going to die in the process. And now he has to go here on 60. Or maybe not. I mean, really, it's an absolutely ridiculous game. I personally wouldn't have poisoned this Thunderer. He can go here on 50%. Because the leader is kind of semi-blocked, right? But or he could proceed with the full block, but then in this case this run here becomes a bit vulnerable. So, and look, there's the backstab potential there. There's no... These two guys are all in. They're not scared of all in. If they were two poker players, they're playing for £100, they go all in for just £100. It's just absolutely crazy. So there is the lock. It's going for the lock. This one is going to be the weak link in the chain. So if this one survives, Orc wins. If this one dies to backstab and then a level 2 thief is formed, then Dwarf wins. Absolutely insane game. Absolutely insane game. So he's going to have to push his units forward. Now he wishes he had his leader on this flank. He's doing absolutely nothing here. With the leader blocked, villages are more or less irrelevant. Reinforcements are the ones that matter. So let's see here. Is he going to... So he's even going to attack there. I wouldn't attack with this one. Remember, this one is the weak link. I wouldn't use it for attacking. I'll just wait patiently to see what happens. Okay, because this is for attacking, he's all in. Now this one is really low. And this is one way in which Dwarf can break free. He just basically uses the Oathseeker on this one and then uses whatever, even the thief, to get a level 2 thief, and then clears this tile. Then the leader recruits, then the leader comes back and shoots something. This is absolutely disastrous here. 26 grunt. The whole game for Cremember is in a 26 HP grunt. This is absolutely insane here. So let's see. He's going for it. He's going for it. This is absolutely critical. Will he eliminate the target? Will he eliminate it? And he does. Probably the chance to kill there was quite high. Okay, I don't agree with this. I'm not sure I agree with the Griffin recruit. Why not just recruit some fighters, right? I'm guessing he wants to see what's coming at him, and that's, you know, that's a natural instinct. Sure. I'm not... Okay, he wants to see what's coming at him. That's fair. He wants to gauge how many units are on this side, how many units are on the other side. But he could probably infer from the fact that the leader is here, there are no units coming on the left flank. So now the game is basically in Danniel BR's favor. There's no question about that. You see, he has to go for these exchanges. Orc does, and Now he's the one putting himself in a very, very bad spot to try and make these exchanges work. He managed to kill the Offseeker, which is, well, that was going to happen anyway, but now he's holding only one village, so it's not the end of the world. Again, even villages. He had some villages for a while, but he's so far behind in terms of recruits and units that... Okay, grunts and assassin. Is it a quick assassin? At least that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least that. Okay. So it's basically back to tile 1 for Orc at this point. He will have to restart the attack on this side, and let's see. I mean, these units should all die. It's afternoon. He needs probably the high attack damage with good defense from the Griffin Rider. But remember, Griffin Rider can also miss and get a lot of retaliation damage in, and then you end up losing a very expensive unit. You can use Dwarvish Fighters instead of Griffin Riders, and I think they are better. But I guess he feels lucky, and he likes to bet on defense, higher defense rather than resistance. So you see that's going to basically rely on defense, but you see 2 out of 2 in and no resistance, so suddenly you end up with a 24 HP very expensive unit, right? It can really backfire if you're using griffins like that. He could have had a so yeah, he can fly around and hit this one in the background, but if he had had fighters, he could have just slowly chipped away at these in a much more cost effective manner at these grunts. So again, who am I to tell? So let's see here, another Thunderer, which I completely agree with, another miss, which Orc absolutely needs like air, like a breath of fresh air. So that's not good. That's not good at all. But again, he needs to clear these villages, and the only way he can do so is by using Dwarvish Fighters. Okay. Now, 68 difference in gold. Even villages. Orc is going to be 1 village ahead pretty soon. Problem is poison, right? Most of the units are low from dwarf or poisoned. Problem is this grunt, which would take a long time to clear up. So I would say that, you know, if this one manages to heal up and then level up, and this one as well, if it manages to level up, the situation would basically swing in Orc's favor. So if he somehow manages to kill the guardsman here and get the village, so for example, this one goes here, this one goes on 50%, these 2 kill the guardsman, and this one goes on the village, then suddenly Orc is in a decent position again. So will he do that? You see, I would have gone on 40% here to get this guy on 50%, because this guy dies in 2 hits to give him more survivability, right? So, but doesn't matter, got the job done. And now this one goes on 60%. No, not even that. Okay, I don't understand this game anymore. I would have personally gotten the village simply because it's, I mean, you saw how difficult it is to get grunts off villages and how much effort Dwarf had to invest here. I mean, he killed these units immediately in a heartbeat, but these units here in villages and difficult terrain, he took ages, right? So I really don't understand, why not take the village? I mean, this thief is going to level up no matter what you do. I'm thinking his mindset was, I'm going to get this thief low so that whenever this thief attacks, he thinks twice. So because if the thief misses the first one and the grunt gets the first retaliation and the thief dies, he really wants to prevent the thief from leveling up. So he's basically taking lots of risks and really prioritizing the thieves not leveling up rather than prioritizing gold from villages. And I understand, because you see he has a lot of units creeping in, right? He can't really hold a steady line formation because of his playstyle in the beginning and his rushed attack. He can't really maintain that line formation, right? So if his units are like all over the place, suddenly skirmishes become, with backstab especially, become a really strong weapon in clearing up these villages. So he would basically, I mean, a dwarf would have a very strong tool to clear up these villages. So I can understand prioritizing the thieves not leveling up, but still 2 villages, even with the backstab, remember the thief does get a lot of retail damage. Level 2 thieves still don't have a lot of hit points, so it's still an expensive exchange with the grunts. But never mind that, what's done it's done. Okay, I guess he's going to reinforce and then use the leader. And it might be tempting to keep recruiting dwarves. Don't. Keep recruiting meaty units, grunts, and now and then some assassins. Don't recruit dwarves, they just die like flies to these griffin riders. And what's he going to do now? Obviously he's going to recruit and shoot something, and he transitioned into poachers. Night is coming and these grunts are going to be in a world of hurt with all these poachers. Yet another miss. Okay, I'm starting to believe that Danniel BR is being a bit unlucky here. Taken -5%. No, he's still the lucky one. And level 2 dwarf. Why not? More important than a level 2 thief. Miss here must be really frustrating versus 50%. There's a hit, and now the backstab. Remember, the thief needs to get 1 hit in, but if the grunt gets 1 hit in, the thief dies. So it's gonna be a 70% hit, so probabilistically thief should win, but there is a small chance that the grunt will kill the thief, and then the whole experience in the thief will be wasted. So do you take the chance? Do you not take the chance? If you are Dauntless, this would go here and it will heal up. If you are Danniel BR, this goes on the village and attacks. What would I do? Not relevant. You know, it's so many factors. But I can humor you, and I could say, in this situation, I would definitely go for the kill. I don't need to see the chances, the computations. I think it's a pretty high chance that the thief gets the kill, and it makes a lot of sense. However, RNG can play a lot of tricks on you. Will he get the kill? He did it. Great, so he got the melee blade, backstab, 7-3, strong quick. That is a beast. And ladies and gentlemen, I think Danniel BR did it. He held off the attack. He has a level 2 thief. He has to be careful though, because this orcish grunt can get a village in the background, which means that, and it's a village that's only exposed to 3 sides, so that is a pretty nice village to be stuck in. So I think Danniel BR did it. I think Danniel BR held off the orcish hordes, and he is in for a big victory versus Cremember, the best player in Wesnoth at the moment according to the ladder table. And there are some forces which are coming, and they are keen on grabbing all these villages. So remember, the dwarvish forces are great, but most of them are dwarves. They are slow, they can't cover everything, and this area is village reach. There is a lot of density of villages on the right hand side, so I dare to say that this is going to be a problem. So again, as orc, you have to be relentless. So there were some exchanges there, 10-4, terrible exchange rate. But now you need to fight for those villages. So at the end of the day, gold exchange, killed, lost, sure, it's important, but villages, remember, 100% advantage. Okay, he didn't do anything. Basically, he went towards this village in the background, trying to again spread dwarf forces thin. So 1 point of interest, 2nd point of interest, 3rd point of interest. So it's basically spread out. He just wants to survive as much as possible, right? So he's basically banking on the 60% defenses to last as much as possible. There's nothing he can do at the moment. He's at a disadvantage, even with this sizable force coming on the right hand side. So many misses. 1, 2, plus 3, 5 misses, 6 misses. Oh my god, so many misses. This is an extremely lucky grunt, and I think Orc needed this lucky break. I'm under the impression that Orc was a bit unlucky this game. Danniel BR played really well, but I'm under the impression that Orc was a bit unlucky. He had some important targets that he missed. But again, this is how you play Orc. You always have to rush the issue. You also have to take seemingly unnecessary risks. So now he's at least going to go get a unit which was poisoned and about to die. So he's going to get that. Or maybe not. He's going to go for the full HP unit, which would be absolutely ridiculous. He needs to get this unit. Please tell me you're going to get that unit. He's not going to get it. He's not going to get it, ladies and gentlemen. He's not going to get it. This is absolutely a ridiculous game. And this unit, if he gets a kill, it's going to level up. But again, 60%, 60%. I like Orc's positioning here. Also, making life difficult for this Dwarvish Thunder Guard. This one on 60% as well. He can, I don't know, he can even stay. I guess this is a good position. He could go on this mountain if he wanted to. He could stay where he is, no problem. He could come to this mountain to get access to this village, or maybe to this mountain here at the edge of the map, and then he could access this village from there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not that good. Not that good. So ideally he would want to have a position where he could basically threaten this village, and also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this would be ideal, but this is a bit too close to, so you don't have that spread anymore. You don't spread dwarves' attention that much. But this is a great position here on the mountain, 60%. Anyway, the cavalry is coming on the right hand side. They are thirsty for villages. They are thirsty for gold. I'm actually going to play side stern because it's pretty straightforward. Move. Oh my god, 2 out of 2. It's absolutely ridiculous. So you see, this is the problem with birds. This is the problem with Griffin Riders. So once you lose a Griffin Rider, you lose 2 grunts, right? And if you're unlucky and you get retail in, then yeah, you lose a lot of resources. And suddenly now the gold swing it doesn't look that bad anymore. It's only 50 gold, and keep in mind that Orc had a village advantage for quite a long time, so that was a risk. That was all in, but with, you know, he's basically forced to have these all in moves. And remember, he was unlucky here with the Dwarvish Thunderer. So yeah, it's not looking good for Dwarves suddenly. I was sure that Dwarf will win. I was sure that Danniel BR is. This is an amazing comeback, ladies and gentlemen. So you see, you should keep fighting as Orc, because things will, I mean, he was on 60% throughout all this time. So it can happen that Dwarf will miss. Dwarf doesn't have magic damage like most other factions. So as long as you can get yourself in those villages, it's really difficult for Dwarf to get you out. So this particular scenario, I do think that this particular grunt was lucky, but overall in the beginning Danniel BR got the hit he needed. Then Orc was a bit ridiculous with his defenses. It kind of balances out, but we shouldn't be talking about RNG. This was an absolutely fantastic game. Every player, so fantastic defending from Danniel BR, fantastic persistence from Cremember, and always staying on those 60%, always trying to get on those villages, and always trying to basically keep crawl that, just keep on to that advantage with dear life, that village advantage, until better times are at the horizons. So really interesting game there. And you see, even if you have a level 2 thief, I mean, grunts at night, they deal pretty significant retaliation damage. 2 out of 2 with the Griffin Rider. He deserved that. He absolutely deserved that. He lost that Griffin in a very frustrating manner, and finally the leader hits. He did not want that. I can assure you, he did not want that. I mean, I'm saying he actually shot with the leader, so he wanted it, but he would have wanted to hit with the leader a bit earlier, when he could have managed the experience a bit better, but probably frustration got the better of him, and he said, I'm just going to eliminate this target from this village, because this village is long overdue to be mine. It's been 13 turns, ladies and gentlemen, and I am extremely tired from commenting this. It's quite intense. I'm about to have a I mean, it's really an intense game with lots of swings on both sides. So what I fear is that this game will now stabilize somehow, some way, and then we'll see a brand new game starting at turn 13. In that case, I will have to take a break. This is way too intense. But let's see Orcs attack. He doesn't care. It's dawn. He doesn't care about time of day. He's out for blood. He's out for villages. He absolutely got destroyed on the left hand side. I'm saying destroyed, it took a long time. It was a slow, meticulous destruction process, probably too slow, and now Dwarf is in trouble simply because he only has 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let me put it this way, he only has 1 Dwarf in place to attack. The rest are out of position. So he's getting the village back, going for the kills. Getting this level 2 will be absolutely crucial to the rest of the game. That unit hurts. That unit counters everything Orc and its day. So I'm not sure what Orc's plan is, but if I see this level 2 and these Dwarves massing up, I'm not having a good day. So he's going to go for the villages all in at this point. Going back would have meant certain loss, so he's going to go for the villages, and now he's going to switch sides again from right to left, make sure it does 2 prone attack, and okay, so that unit I expect, yeah, it will die eventually. 14-6, it's getting a bit out of control, so even if Orc has villages, so 2 villages I'm counting so far, lots of reinforcements coming due to village advantage. Is he actually going to take it? That would have been insane. As you can see, Orc is taking lots of risks right now. He doesn't have anything to lose. As far as numbers say, he has already lost this game. He's still in 60%, but these 60% are not villages. He does have 60% here, but there's a level 2. There's a Griffin, there's this thief, there's a Northseeker, there's a leader. There are so many units here to deal damage, and the leader hits, and I think that is the nail in the coffin for Orc. Okay, lots of misses there. Double backstab. I'm sure he would have wanted the experience in the other thief. Now this rogue is a bit exposed, unless he blocks it here at the expense of another unit. But then again, another village here. and the wolf can always run back simply because the wolf has a lot of mobility. So while dwarf is killing a lot of units, and then he has to protect his wounded core units, he is also leaving spaces in his defense for orc to capitalize on, right? So it's something to watch. There's gonna be a level 2 griffin. It just looks like it. I just don't feel that there is anything that can do something to stop this griffin rider. However, you see, there's a lot of powerful units concentrated in the middle, but as you go to the sides, it's really difficult to surround this grunt. I mean, what do you do with this absolute beast? Do you go to the side and make it relevant for 2 turns, or do you go in the center? So it's something to keep in mind. Anyway, let's see what they chose. So another miss there. Basically trying to close the gates, trying to make sure that nobody else comes in and picks up villages. So he's fine with losing 1 village, but there's a second village. He'll be overwhelmed at this rate, even if he got lots of kills in. Some of these units are in the red, in the orange. He should have used his Offseeker somehow, I feel. He should have used Offseeker on this quick intelligent grunt. Definitely something he should have done. I'm sure the Offseeker was in range, if I'm not mistaken. He definitely should have gone for the quick intelligent grunt. That's not a real grunt, it's a quick intelligent one. And his poacher also had some movement points, I believe. I think this was a turn with a bit of inaccuracies from Danniel BR. I would have personally gone for this quick intelligent grunt. Now I'm seeing it's quick intelligent. You know, this one, there's no way for him to be left out in the open on 40%. This poacher, I'm sure it had some movement points. I'm definitely sure it has some movement points. That is a free kill basically for our orc player. 2 out of 2 on the Griffin Rider. That's the problem with Griffin Riders. So if you lose one, you can always lose one versus grunts. A grunt can always get 2 out of 2 versus a Griffin Rider, and once you do, it's really painful. So difficult to recruit, easy to lose. It can backfire. Griffin Riders can backfire. So I'm suddenly liking Orcs' position a bit better at this moment, with those 2 Griffin Riders gone and only 1 level 2 unit, which got a lot of, I mean, this level 2 unit was very unlucky. It got a lot of retaliation from a grunt, but that's the problem when you're fighting grunts with rogues. But you know, what can you fight grunts with? Level 2 poachers. But from the beginning it was not that kind of game, so it's a slippery slope here. Let's see. You see, now he's using the Dwarvish Offseeker. Dwarvish Offseeker will survive, but then what are you going to use this Dwarvish Offseeker on? Better to get that village when you have the chance. I'm guessing he can now take the village without any issue. Yeah, but let's see. I'm guessing he's attacking versus 40%. He's not hitting with his Thunderers. He's not hitting at all. That must hurt. That must hurt really bad. I think now he's okay. I'm conceding this. GG. I'm going home. That's again problem with the Thunder Guard. It's all or nothing. All or nothing unit. So if it's an all or nothing unit, it's indeed very epic. So absolutely fantastic game. I'm really happy I chose it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are too. And this is going to be, I think, over pretty soon, because Dwarf cannot keep up with all this volume of orc units, and Dwarf does not have the mobility to basically go and counter pillage. Dwarf doesn't have the healing power to run around like Drake in a death ball of units. So I'm just going to play side turn. I'm going to call it. I don't think Dwarf can keep up with this sheer volume of grunts. He is losing villages. He's 2 villages down. There's no way he can keep going left, right, and he's lost those griffins, which were core units. And let's see here, he's gonna counter pillage, get some kills in. Unfortunately, he can't seem to level up this thief. He really desperately wants to level up that thief, but he doesn't manage. He doesn't manage to. He's put it here to just close this Orcish grunt movement, but grunt now is going to go for 2 out of 2. He has nothing to lose, and if he kills the thief in the process, then he is absolutely fine. Plus, this poisoned dwarvish fighter cannot be saved. Where do you go? You go on this village to heal him? Sure, but you have a wolf coming, you have another grunt coming. Somebody somehow will reach him and will finish him off, even if not now, later on. I mean, he needs a lot of time to heal, a lot of time, and he also needs to stay a lot of time in the village. So let's see. Going versus the 60%. Misses, quite a lot of misses. The leader as well, he needs 2. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Suddenly I'm liking Dwarf positioning much better. The Orcish leader is out in the middle of nowhere, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with no immediate recruitment in sight. This is absolutely fantastic. So all that village advantage currently, at least temporarily, amounts to 0. If he manages to recruit right next to the dwarvish leader, it's curtains for Dwarf. But he's currently far away from a keep. Maybe this one is the closest, but now Dwarf can go here and recruit and reinforce, and this one is a level 2 that deals 18 melee retaliation and also 21 ranged. There's no way this one is going to die anytime soon. All these grunts are going to get so low by the time they finish off this Dwarvish Thunder Guard. This is absolutely ridiculous. I didn't see that coming. This is absolutely insane game, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so there's a level up there on the thief. And that was a risk. Not sure whether it was worth taking or not. Now these units need to basically come home, clear these units, and surround the Orcish warrior. Problem is there's no more griffins left, so it's difficult to surround the Orcish warrior. He could recruit a griffin, but he wouldn't have enough support. It's not the right recruit. This is not the right recruit, an Offseeker. I'm guessing it's the pressure element, right? He wants to put pressure on the Orcish warrior. It's like, if you are overly bold with your Orcish warrior, I'm going to use an Offseeker first, no matter where you are. Sure, you are going to kill the Offseeker, but then you're going to be really low, and then I'm going to shoot you. Are you willing to take the risk? So this is basically putting some pressure here on the Cremember. It's like, I'm a player, I'm willing to take the risk. Are you? So yeah, I kind of like this if I think about it. So quite nice move there, and all these units have to quickly hurry up to get there. Sure, they have to kill this along the way, maybe get the experience into the poacher. Maybe not. Maybe get the experience into the Thunderer, or maybe the Dwarvish Allseeker. Seems like such a waste. Okay, Dwarvish Allseeker, why not? Maybe he was thinking, well, I'm not going to use the Dwarvish Allseeker for a long time. Might as well get some experience in it. Put him back to heal and move these units forward, because I need them forward, and Dwarvish Allseeker is not sturdy enough to deal with all these units. So nice counter pillaging going on. In case this game goes on any longer, that would help in the future. However, this game is going to end up very soon, one way or the other. If so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If Orc manages with 5 units to kill this Thunder Guard, is GG. If he doesn't, he loses. So let's see, ladies and gentlemen, will he get the hits? 2 out of 2 misses. 2 out of 2 misses. It's not looking good. 1 hit. It's not enough. It's not enough. He's bringing the leader forward. He's all in at this point. He's all in, ladies and gentlemen. There's no coming back from this. 2 out of 3. He absolutely needed that like a breath of fresh air. He needs now 3 out of 4, which is quite... I mean, based on what I've seen so far, he won't get it, but he has to go for it. He has to go for it. 2 out of 2 misses is looking very dire. I'm not gonna lie, it's looking very dire for our orc leader. He's gonna go for it. It's basically he's fighting for dear life. But now look at this. Offseeker. And look how many Thunderers. The problem with Thunderers, it's all or nothing. So if all these Thunderer miss, then suddenly the Orcish warrior is in a great position all over again. So it's all about these Thunderers. Can they actually hit for once in this game? So if they do miss, then well, I'm not even gonna bother anymore, because this game has had such a meandering scenario. So we're going to see now what is going to happen here. Okay, it's Cremember's move. What is he doing? Doesn't really matter what happens here. It's absolutely irrelevant, completely irrelevant. Will he manage to recruit? If yes, he will win. Otherwise, he's dead. So he's going to go for the leader. No, he's not going to go for the leader. This is absolutely insane. He's not going to go for the leader, and he wasted one slot on the leader. Maybe he's thinking, okay, I'm not going to go for the leader, risk missing and losing the game. I'm instead going to grab this slot and then this slot, and then even if the leader gets the keep, he will only have 1 slot to recruit, which is not enough. So that's another way to starve the leader from recruiting, right? So and in this way he gets to keep the Offseeker. He gets to not get his Thunderers in absolutely terrible positions, and he gets to slowly chip away at the Grunt army. He's finally starting to hit with his bows. Now he will go with the poacher. And it's 4. He should go leader versus leader. This game has been too beautiful so far for him not to go leader versus leader. So he needs 1 hit. I would personally go leader versus leader now. It's high probability that I win, but he also has a chance of winning. So I would go leader versus leader. No, he's not going to do it. He just wants to win. Leader versus leader. He didn't do it. No, he should have meleeed. So shooting is not not what I had in mind. Danniel BR, he should have just meleeed. Anyway, he's won the game. Danniel BR has. I don't see how Orc can come back from this. This is an absolutely insane match, and I am really happy I chose to cast it. And yeah, so it's GG. Excellent. Yeah, this he said AG, but I think it's GG. Well played. We must have missed it. So yeah, great fighting spirit from Orc. Great way of organizing his defenses from Dwarf. He really started off with I would say not the optimal units, but made them work here in the center. Then Orc had the right idea to try to spread the Dwarvish defense thin between left and right, constantly changing attack sides, and he did it pretty well for a moment there. I mean, for 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 moments I thought Orc will win, and then for an equal amount of times I thought Dwarf will win. So absolutely insane swings in terms of momentum. So I hope you, ladies and gentlemen, enjoyed it, and I shall see you later.